We made it to the final day of Cheyenne Frontier Days. The competitors have paid their entry fees, qualified to get to today, and are hoping to pick up some hardware as the excitement on the dirt gets more intense. Fans are filing in to watch the best of the best battle it out in these historic chutes, and memorable performances are on the horizon right here in Wyoming. It's the 129th edition, and it's next on Rodeo Live.
Welcome to Cheyenne Frontier Days, the daddy of them all.
Bulls are in the chute, boots are in the dust, ropes are at the ready, folks are rearing up for some saddle blazing, barrel racing, thunder roaring, bleachers shaking, giving out. We're about to turn loose. Oh, shoot. It's finally time for Rodeo Live, the toughest sport on dirt that ain't second ride. With the cowboys and girls, let the broncs out the gate. Y'all better hang on, there's gold buckles at stake. Hit your feet, hit the lights, saddle up, cause it's finally time for Rodeo Live. We've got the fastest girls on horse, toughest boys around, meanest rough stock and a heck of a crowd. Every hat is on a heart and every eye is watching. No glory wave in the home of the brave. It's finally time for Rodeo Live, the toughest sport on dirt that ain't second ride. With the cowboys and girls, let the broncs out the gate. Y'all better hang on, there's gold buckles at stake. Hit your feet, hit the lights, saddle up, cause it's finally time for Rodeo Live. Saddle up, cause it's finally time for Rodeo Live.
Well, it is a big day in professional rodeo. Welcome to Frontier Park and Rodeo Live, presented by Tractor Supply. It's the final day of Cheyenne Frontier Days, and we have the most amazing crew to bring you all the rodeo action and a little bit of drama. Frontier Days, and we have the most amazing crew to bring you all the rodeo action and a little bit of drama along with it. Joining me, Ty Harris. You're new to the team, not new to Cowboys Channel, though. We're excited to have you. Jordan Jo Hollabaugh. You know, you have a lot of accolades, but I think the one I'm going to go with today is the first ever breakaway roping champion here at Cheyenne Frontier Days, and then four-time NFR qualifying bareback rider, Leighton Berry. Welcome back.
Hey, it's good to be back. I'm glad I made it here.
This is the daddy of them all. This is about as great as it gets in professional rodeo, and what are you most excited about for today?
Man, it's kind of the middle of the season right here in the summer. I think guys are making moves for whether it's for a world championship or to make it to that yellow building that we're all chasing to in Las Vegas. So it's an exciting time of the year and a beautiful weather. Thanks for having me.
Speaking of making moves, I'm pretty sure every single one of us, we said the hardest part about the show was just getting here. Jordan Jo, you have been all over the country competing and winning, and you actually came from Salt Lake City just last night. They had the finals. You hopped in your rig. You drove overnight to get here. I did the same thing. I was in Salt Lake finals just about, 10 hours ago, maybe less. Hopped in a rig with some guys, made it over. But hey, we're rodeoing, and that's what this is all about.
We're ready. We're here at Cheyenne today. The atmosphere is hot, and everybody's glad to be here at the Dad.
Yeah, talk about this journey. We have a map here, and this is just a couple of days. This doesn't even begin to capture what the rodeo road looks like all summer long.
Yeah, 100%. So Friday I got to rope at Cheyenne about 2:15. We left here. My mom and sister took me straight to the airport. We left Denver about 6:45. Then I got to Salt Lake, roped there about 10 o'clock. We left about 10:30. Not what I wanted in Salt Lake, but that's okay. That's rodeo. And my husband drove us all night long. I only got to drive an hour, so it wasn't terrible. But we got some good sleep. Got here about 5 this morning. Went back to bed, got back up. Here we are, ready for the Dad.
Yeah, Leighton Berry, to take a look at that map. Do you even have to GPS that? I'm pretty sure you've made that trip a couple hundred times in your career as well.
Yeah, it's a lonely road, that one is. I prefer to do it at night when there's not as much traffic. There's not a whole lot to look at when you're stretching across the beautiful state of Wyoming, but we've done it many a times, and everybody here made it safely. Turning point in July at the Dad.
Yeah, now Ty, you didn't make that trip, but you made a whole other trip. I think you just won Joseph, Oregon, is that right? And then flew in?
Yeah, me and my brother split split Joseph. With airlines these days, I was like, I hope Rodeo Live, I hope I make it because so many delays and stuff. But I landed at 8:30 this morning in Denver, made it up here, and glad to be here.
With this group of people, I do not worry about the show because the fact of it is that you guys are all experts. You don't even have to look up any of these competitors because you live this every single day, which is why the show is incredible. But today is a big day. There is a whole caravan of contestants coming from Salt Lake City, other rodeos to try to make it here. Nobody really has gotten any sleep, but that's what the best part of rodeo is. And the fact is today is a clean slate format. There is quite a journey to get here. You have to qualify in. They have the quarterfinals, the semifinals. You don't have to worry about any of that because today everybody's going for broke, including you, Jordan Jo.
Yeah, it's one of a kind here at Cheyenne, and the new format's a little bit different, but it's anybody's game today. It depends on who draws good, whose horse works good, and it's got to fall into your favor today to be the champion of the dad.
Well, and there's a lot of history to be made, too, as well in the saddle bronc riding. Brody Kress, a 3-time champion of Cheyenne Frontier Days. It's been a while since he's gotten a win here, but he is our Tractor Supply winning moment of the day. We're going to take a look at his ride from the semifinals. This is 89.5 points on Devil's Advocate. But Leighton, I think you can attest to this. This is the kind of ride that we've seen Brody make hundreds of times here at Frontier Park.
Yeah, what more can you say about Brody? He's just been solid ever since he started riding broncs. He's obviously a multi-time average NFR champion. He's just solid every time. His markouts, he's never missing a beat. This little horse right here is super neat, goes both ways in the bareback riding and the bronc riding, super snappy. And Brody, that's a day off for him. He could have ate a sandwich all day long on the back of him.
I like that. Could have ate a sandwich. I'm going to use that one later on. But the thing is, he's chasing number 4 today, which is a big deal, and he's wanting to really join an elite group. He's having an incredible season, 8 times to the NFR, 3 times Cheyenne Frontier Days, 8th in the world. But you know, Brody, he's been so close to that gold buckle so many times. Cheyenne could really give him that extra momentum to get close to that.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, anybody that can go into the national finals and win the average that many times obviously has the caliber, but you don't have it until you strap that gold buckle on. So it starts right here at Cheyenne. Hopefully we can keep a good summer rolling and go into chasing the world championship.
Yeah, and Jordan Jo, like I said, he's trying to chase history to join an elite group. Being a champion here at Cheyenne, what does that mean for you? It can define your whole career. I mean, we say that about you almost every time you back into the box.
It has. It's been a game changer for my career, and this is such a hard rodeo to win because literally everybody wants to win this rodeo. It's one of the most prestigious ones, but everything's got to fall into your favor. You've got to have good calves, you've got to have a good horse, and it's got to be your time. And so for him to have won it 3 times is astronomical, but to have a 4th chance today, it's pretty cool.
It's fallen in the favor of a very elite group of people that have won it 4 or more times. Fred Lowry, an impressive 6 times in the steer roping. Earl Thode in the saddle bronc riding back in the 20s and 30s. He's had 4 championships here. The great Christy Peterson and Bozo, what a team to remember. They're a 4-time champion. And Jade Corco, also a world champion, 4 times right there. And we talk all the time about rodeo. Anything can happen. There's so many different elements, so many things that can go your way or fall apart. To get it all together for that many times here at this rodeo, hundreds of thousands of contestants you're going through, what are the odds?
I mean, when I think Brody Kress, I think Wyoming. You see it on his truck, his shirt, his vest, everything. So it's amazing to have that accomplishment at Cheyenne, no matter who you are, but especially for a local guy like that. I can't imagine what it would be like to have that much success at a local rodeo.
Give it a nod from the timed event perspective as well, because obviously it's really difficult in the rough stock. But timed event, there are so many contestants that you're having to battle it out with to get to that number 1 spot.
Yeah, these slacks are some of the hugest that we see all year long. There's over 200 and some girls in the breakaway. I know 200 tie-down ropers, steer ropers, team ropers, they come. I mean, it's such a drawn game. It's, like I said, it's got to fall into your favor. And then it starts all over here today. A lot of these guys are roping fresh cattle today, and so it's all a drawn game. It's whoever gets him and then can use him. So it's one of the most prestigious rodeos. But looking at those stats, how cool is it to see 1916? Like, this rodeo has been around for so long, and the tradition runs so deep here, and it's just so neat to see it. Like, this is a crowd unlike no other crowd that we get to perform in. They love rodeo and the tradition of Cheyenne, Wyoming.
I love that. The culture, the tradition, it is unmatched here. And real quick, Leighton, I know that Brody Kress is on his way to Frontier Park to hopefully join us here on the show. But when you have 3 championships, when you're known as Mr. Wyoming, what does that do pressure-wise? Does it help you, or does it add that much more?
Well, if I know Brody at all, we live just right down the road from each other in Weatherford. I know he's in the gym every day. He's focused on his nutrition, his mental game plan coming in. So when he knows he comes up here and he shows up, it doesn't matter what bucking horse is underneath him. He's prepared no matter if it's a bucker, a hopper, one that guys aren't winning on. He's mentally prepared. He's physically prepared. So he has to just show up and do what he's been doing for the last 5-6 years is win. That's all Brody Crest knows how to do.
Well, I promise you he's definitely prepared for the draw that he has today. We'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit. But we wanted to take a moment to give everyone an update on Dylan Taro. He had a pretty terrible injury here at Cheyenne Frontier Days on the Friday performance. He was opening the gate for a bareback horse, and he got kicked in the chest. But our Justin Sports Medicine team, our surgeons, they were all on site. They got to him quickly. They got him stabilized, and they got him to the Cheyenne Hospital very quickly where they were prepared for him, and we credit that to saving his life. Currently, he is in the ICU, so we ask for all of your thoughts and prayers for Dylan Taro as he recovers. We're thinking about him, we're praying for him. So a lot of updates coming from there, but he is currently in the ICU. But we have more rodeo action. We're going to talk saddle bronc riding. Brody Crest in Wyoming, you definitely know that guy. He's coming up on Rodeo Live.
Rodeo Live is brought to you by Tractor Supply. For life out here. Out here.
Riders, breeders, and horse owners who trust Etalon.
That is the win that everybody is chasing, those championship saddles and that coveted buckle, one of the most iconic buckles. Cheyenne Frontier Days here in professional rodeo. All these contestants, they battle it out just to get closer to that beautiful saddle and that beautiful buckle, not to mention all the money counting towards the world standings. Cheyenne Frontier Days finals, this is what it is all about. Thanks for joining us here on Rodeo Live, presented by Tractor Supply. And the main event, our star of the show, the star of Wyoming and the star of saddle bronc riding today. He is joining us right now. Brody Crest, welcome to the show. You're going to have a busy day coming up.
Yeah, thank you guys. This is pretty awesome. Good way to start your day.
Yes, it definitely is. And I know that we talk about Wyoming. This is your state. This is your big moment. You had 3 championships here at Cheyenne. Does one of them stick out to you the most, or just what's your most memorable moment here?
You know, I think the one that sticks out the most is probably the first one, just being one of the first guys out, getting a re-ride. So with you have all that anticipation building up, you know, where it's like you got to toe the line. Your last guy, we were resaddling, so they had like 4 or 5 minutes of build up to it too. So at that point, you're like, you go out there and fall off, you might never be able to show your face again in the town. So I knew that I had to go out there and do my job, you know, and that was the first year I made the finals too. So I hadn't been on those stages very much yet. So to be able to lock in and get it done that first time, that helped.
What do you feel like right here? I mean, you're getting ready to ride it, home state, won here multiple times. Does that feel like extra pressure, more excitement? How do you feel right now?
You know, I think getting to have a little more experience now where I've been to the finals 8 times and been in these positions, it's just another day to me. And it makes it even better to look at the draw I have. That makes it even easier just to put it out of your mind, show up, stay in the process, do your job. That's just, I always tell people, the main thing is focus on the process. So no matter if you're in the practice pen or on a big stage, it's familiar to you.
As you take a look at this video right here, this was you from 2019. You weren't wearing the orange shirt just yet. You were just a young Brody Kress. How much have you changed as a bronc rider since this win?
I think I've definitely changed quite a bit since then. I was a young kid then, wet behind the ears still, hadn't done a whole bunch yet. And now that having the consistency and being comfortable in these situations and knowing how to win on every type of horse, that really helps, where you can kind of just lock in and do your job.
Well, and talk about, you said, the pressure that first year and the buildup and the storyline, especially here in your hometown. How do you make that pressure work for you, not just here at Cheyenne, but all year long and all the NFRs that you've made?
I think that the best way to make that pressure work for you is just realize, hey, you got to show up and do your job or you're not going to win. It makes it pretty simple. You don't have to sit there and think, oh, I need to do this, I need to do this, I got to do this, I can't do that. It's like, show up, do what you know how to do, and put yourself in a position to win.
Exactly. And like Brody, you're obviously a Texas man now, but you're Wyoming at heart. What does it mean to you to be performing? Everybody here knows who Brody Kress is, and you're here to compete for your 4th title. What does it mean to have this whole entire state backing you as Brody Kress?
It's very special to me. I owe a lot to this state and to this town. The community that I had around me when I was a little kid and just wanting to chase the dreams that I had, it was those people that helped me put myself in that situation. Without their help, without their commitment to me, giving up days for my practice pen and helping me, that's what put me here. So to be able to come back here and find success and be able to be successful in front of them and realize they didn't waste their time,
Absolutely.
It's pretty special.
That's awesome.
Well, Brody, you're already in an elite group as a 3-time champion here at Cheyenne, but if you get the win today, you're going to join an even more elite group as someone who's won it 4 or more times. Here's a look at the history of that right there. Earl Thode, he's a saddle bronc rider. He's had 4. What would it mean to you to now add your name to that list with number 4?
That'd be pretty special. Not only that it's my home state, my hometown rodeo, all the history with this rodeo, to be able to come here and compete and have success and in all different formats too. I had success where it was 2-head and then come back to a short round, and now with the bracket formats, it is hard to get through these bracket formats because you got to show up and win every day. So that makes it pretty special to be able to do that in that type of format and set myself up for this chance. It's pretty special.
Well, and talking about the horse you have today, Brody, we're going to get into a whole segment on that, but how you feeling about that?
I'm pumped. Yesterday when I saw the draw, I'm not going to lie, I about passed out a little bit. I was like, because that's the one you want, and you tell yourself for the rodeo, black tie, that's what I want, but then to see it on the list, I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, it's a bronc rider's dream. They've obviously been winning all the rodeos this summer on it, and very seldomly is there that one specific horse that you want to draw, and you got him. It's a dream matchup. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I'm pumped. There's a great field of guys today, and there's good horses, but that's by far the one I wanted, so now just go out there, focus, and do my job. I've got to get on him 4 times before, so I know the deal so I know that I need to toe the line and do my job or he's going to buck me off.
Well, you guys set it up. That is officially your Las Tunas horse-powered to watch. The Black Tie, one of the greatest saddle bronc horses of all time. Leighton, tell us just how incredible the Black Tie really is.
Well, you really can't say enough about this 14-year-old gelding. They're winning all the rodeos. They've had 20-plus 90-point rides. Watch as this horse just basically goes out there and shows off. There's a reason why he's under a saddle. This horse has been to the NFR in the bareback riding and the saddle bronc riding, but he's so flashy and stays so good and consistent in the bronc riding. That's where Wade Sankey decided to keep him. And like I said, he's a bronc rider's dream. He is the #1 horse that you want to see next to your name, 2022 world champion.
Well, and I'm just a breakaway roper, but when they say black tie, I even jump on the fence and I'm like, who's getting that horse today? I've seen your husband be really good at Pendleton on the black tie. So when I saw your name by him today, I was like, you dang right. That just got to give you some incredible motivation.
Yeah, it's hard to find a horse that goes out there and bucks that hard every single time. We do have great horses in the PRCA, but they might have some off days. I don't think I've seen Black Tie have an off day in 5 years, so that's pretty dang special to compete at that level every time.
Well, and I want to make a comment again about how incredible of an athlete this horse truly is. He's the first bucking horse ever to undergo stifle surgery and then successfully come back from that to be 90 points plus every single time. I also want to mention that if you go over 90 on Black Tie, you get a special vest from Sankey Pro Rodeo. you get to join the 90-point club. Pretty sure you already have one of those vests, but it wouldn't hurt to get another one. We got to see Ryder Sanford. He holds the arena record. When you watch those videos and you look at those numbers, how much does that fire you up for today?
Oh, I'm ready to go. I'm about to fall off this chair right now because I can't stop moving. So it's amazing to be able to have that horse and be able to have a chance to make history. You couldn't ride it any better.
Well, and I want to make a comment about the saddle bronc riding as a whole. This is such an amazing group of saddle bronc. It's gotten to be one of the most competitive events in professional rodeo. Someone that sticks out to me is Zeke Thurston. He's never had a win here at Cheyenne, which is shocking. What do you think of the field?
It's a great field. We got some dogs in the bronc riding right now. You got to show up and do your job, or you're going to be watching from the stands and eating popcorn. So, but yeah, talking Zeke Thurston, he just came off his 4th win in Calgary, so he's feeling good. He's got a great horse of Summit Today Catwalk. That horse I was 90 on in Pendleton last year. So, and there's some other great matchups. It's always good on Championship Sunday, and you're never sure what's going to happen.
I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of 90-point plus rides today, but Brody Kress, you are our guy to watch. Brody Kress, black tie, chasing that 4th title here at Cheyenne Frontier Days. We can't wait to get it started. When we come back on Rodeo Live, presented by Tractor Supply, we're going to break down some timed events. Steer wrestling, where's Luke Branquino? You'll find out when we come back.
Rodeo Live is brought to you by RM43, Serious Weed Control, and Lost Tuna.
Hey everyone, sorry I'm going to be missing Cheyenne, the daddy of them all short round. I'm going to be missing my crew, missing everybody, but right now I'm kind of stuck on a boat here in Italy. Portofino, I think, is where we're at. Pretty tough life, but anyhow, I did want to get my picks in, so I'm going to go Rowdy Parrott in steer wrestling. He's due for a win, get some money, get bumped up in the standings. Haley's been calling and texting since we've been out here, so I'm going to pick her because she's been relying on my tips to go and get another W. So got Haley in the barrel race. Janie, I know you're going to keep everybody in line and make sure they don't take my picks, so I appreciate that. And Ty, keep my seat warm. We'll see you all in Caldwell, Idaho.
Well, on behalf of everybody here on Rodeo Live, presented by Tractor Supply, I think we just need to take a moment to just feel bad for Luke Branquino out there on a big, beautiful yacht in Portofino, Italy. I think the Cheyenne Frontier Days may be the only better place in the world to be right now.
I was just glad the big boy had the pants on.
I mean, surely he had a Speedo on.
I'm not so sure that Luke wasn't wearing a Speedo under that.
I agree.
Yeah, I think so. That was the behind the scenes. When in Italy, you know, Luke Branquino, we need more videos. But you heard it. He's got some great picks in the steer wrestling. Pro Fantasy Rodeo. You want to get your rodeo picks in for this event. You want to get Cheyenne's picks in before the rodeo kicks off. Go ahead and take your phone out and scan this QR code. This is so much fun. I am absolutely getting my butt whooped on my rodeo picks. I will say I did the Cowboy Christmas, and I think 88% of people did better than me. So that's okay. We're going to make a comeback. That's rodeo for you.
That's the best part about it, though. You can do it every day and have a chance to win $10,000 if you pick every event correctly. So go get your rodeo picks in.
It's gotten to be unreal, the money that you can win. So much fun.
LB was over here making his picks earlier. I was over here spying on him, but
I was. It's interesting. I love how they brought that into rodeo because, you know, I used to just kind of pay attention to the bareback ride and maybe watch a little bit of the bronc ride and watch the calf roping. But now I sit in front of the Cowboy channel and I'm like, now I've got to watch the whole rodeo because as I'm winning, you know, I got a chance at $10,000 while I'm sitting on my couch. So I'm playing rodeo picks.
Yeah, everybody needs to be playing rodeo picks. Can you beat Leighton Berry's team? We'll see. I don't know. He's pretty good. You're probably going to beat my team because I turn out I'm not so good. But I haven't had to get the tattoo yet on the Charity Tattoo League for NFR. But this is a whole new game. Definitely go to profantasyrodeo.com. And speaking of rodeo picks, you heard it from Luke Branquino. He's looking at Rowdy Parrott in the steer wrestling. This guy has all the confidence in the world coming into Cheyenne. He's number 4 in the world standings right now. He's riding Mario. What do you think of Rowdy Parrott in this field?
Oh, he's a stud. I mean, every time he's ever made it out to Vegas, he's had great NFR, been really close to winning average titles. 4th in the world right now, got a lot of momentum. He has a great rig, great family, great horsepower, and I see him to continue success. And Luke said don't take his pick, but I'm not going to bet against him.
Yeah, why would you ever bet against Rowdy Parrott? And we're going to talk about this a lot in the timed events. The setup here, it is a true cowboy setup in any kind of timed event. Jordan Jo, what kind of horse do you have to have? It is going to take a lot today.
you have to have a horse here that you can absolutely trust, let the hammer down, and just go and do your job, especially in the Bulldog. And it is one of the scariest events. I might rather jump out of an airplane with a parachute than Bulldog here, but
similar situation,
yeah,
really.
Similar situation. But you know, Rowdy Parrott, you can't ever count him out. He's a little guy, but he's got a big dog. And you know, one thing about him, he's got some momentum this week. He did really good at Spanish Fork. He's done good all week at the Utah Rodeos. So he's on a momentum streak, and I think you can't count him out today.
Yeah, I talked to him earlier. He's actually made the finals here about 5 times, maybe even more than that. He couldn't even remember. That's how well he's done at Cheyenne Frontier Days. All the momentum. Another guy that's feeling good coming into Cheyenne Frontier Days is past Cheyenne champion Justin Schaefer. He won this rodeo back in 2022, and when you've been there, you've done that, you've got the buckle. Are you wearing it when you come into today?
Man, it'd be hard not to. I mean, that horse he has, Banker, is so good, and you know he's going to put him in a good position. If he has a good steer, it'd be hard to bet against Justin as well.
Well, and too, Justin and his partner, Hazen, they have so much confidence in each other, and there's so much technique to where you want that steer and how you want Hazen, where you bring him into. You know, Jace Melvin told me the other day, you just run a straight line, they bring him right to you, and you get down and get into it. So I think it's exciting. Justin's had success here. He's got a great team going, and I know he's ready for his win here.
Yeah, speaking of Melvin, I think I got to go with the sleeper in this pin, Paul Melvin, son of NFR qualifier Marty Melvin. This guy he can really do it. He's a Texas boy, big, tall, rides a great horse, really sees his start. I think he's got a great steer today, and I think that's going to be the guy you're going to see on the stage.
I love that you brought Paul Melvin up. Yeah, Marty Melvin, past Marlboro man, an awesome steer wrestler. He definitely passed on that finesse to his son Paul, and he's going to be out today. This is a look at the guys coming on from semifinals 1 and semifinals 2. It was a very, very tough group in the steer wrestling, but like you said earlier, Justin Schaefer, he's 19th in the world. A lot of implications on the world standings. This is crunch time as we get towards the end of July. If you don't start winning now, you're not going to be in that top 15. Team roping, a team that I don't think we really have to worry about making the NFR. Pretty legendary. T. Wade, Wesley Thorpe. Ever heard of him?
Yeah, if you haven't heard of him, you've been living under a rock. 2-time and reigning world champions coming in. They've getting hot. You know, these guys are so confident and they believe in each other so much, have such a great partnership. You know they're going to win, even though it was starting slow in June and July. They get hot, and you know they're going to be open for a world championship in December.
Absolutely, and comment on these guys. They were both in the finals at Salt Lake City last night, so they're in the same boat as you and I, Jordan Jo. Well, mostly you. Drove overnight from Salt Lake City to get here. Does that affect you, or does that actually almost kind of make it easier to not have any of the stuff on your mind because you just got to go?
I think you're just running on, you know, adrenaline, momentum. Everybody wants to be at Short Round Sunday here at Cheyenne Frontier Days, and so it's a drive you're willing to make. It's not a bad day to be tired today.
Ty, I know that you had some other team ropers that you were looking at in this setup.
Yeah, Aaron Ginny and Jeremy Bueller, they won the world in 2015 for Aaron, 2016 for Jeremy. They weren't roping together. They're a new team, new partnership this year. Aaron hasn't made the finals in years, and Jeremy hasn't made it since 2023. I hope to see them do some good, and I look to see them keep catapulting in those world standings.
LB, as you take a look at this list, is there anybody that kind of stands out to you, or is it's going to be kind of anybody's game today?
Yeah, you know, Billy Bob Brown, Blaine Vick, those guys are not scared to come with it. I really think that depending on the steers that they have today, I know they pick some of the better ones, and they're not afraid to get it out of their hands and go fast. So those are kind of my pick.
I think that's going to be the game changer today is what steer they draw. These steers are really strong, and they're a really tough set, so I think it's going to be who's in that barrier and who gets the good steers today.
The team roping is always so much fun to watch here at Cheyenne, especially because of the cowboy culture that comes with this rodeo. So much history, so much coveted inspiration coming from getting that buckle, from trying to change the set of your career. We're going to talk more about it when we come back and learn also about our In the Fold here on Rodeo Live.
Rodeo Live is brought to you by Ariat. Ready, set, riding boots and jeans that work as hard as you do.
Always an honor to get to spend some time with one of our Western greatest ambassadors. Mo brings plenty, and you continue to stand up for the right things here when you're not in Hollywood. But tell me what drives you and what's your vision doing what you're doing out at these events like Cheyenne?
You know, it's the people. I mean, there's super athletes. They're all great individuals, good folks to be around. I mean, it's like one big family, and this community is strong and healthy. And man, the more people we can get involved in this, the better off we'll all be.
Cheyenne Frontier Days tabbed you as their grand marshal in the parades, and the parades here are extraordinary. So you got to experience that. What did you see that you were not expecting?
I was the grand marshal.
Oh, that too, yeah.
Yeah. That was the thing that I was unexpecting. But you know, it's such a great parade. I mean, this community is it's such an amazing group of people here. Especially Cheyenne Frontier Days. I mean, that was legendary for me, and to have that honor just humbles me still, you know. And so it was awesome to be here.
All the old wagons that they have a whole team of people that work all year to preserve those wagons, a lot of them from the 1880s and 90s. They're beautiful. Now let's talk about something else that Cheyenne makes a priority, and that is Native America. And especially they are in the process of building a beautiful complex all about Indians in America.
You know, the Indian Village, I saw the future plans that they have for that, and it's going to be mind-blowing. I mean, people are going to need to go see it. I mean, it's going to be an amazing facility, an amazing place to visit and get to learn more about the American Indian culture. And that's one of the things. As I was riding through the parade this morning, I was thinking about all of my ancestors and the people that have been in this parade before. And so it was just a good trip down memory lane, but also thinking of what steps do we need to take to continue and elevate that cultural diversity, you know. And so it was an amazing time, and this Indian Village is going to be mind-blowing. And so I'm looking forward to my meeting with the board tomorrow to discuss further of what's going to be happening there.
When you travel and you speak and you know that you've had an influence and an impact, what's the main message you want people listening to you to take away?
You know, we're all human beings at the end of the day. I mean, that's the bottom line, and it's obvious that God loves diversity. I always keep saying that, and you know that. And if we don't understand that and get a hold of that in this world, then who are we to believe we'll be invited there? And so we got to embrace this cultural diversity and our differences, because we're all children of God. That's right. And so that's kind of my biggest thing, is that we're all in this together. We have one planet, and we all share the same sun and the same moon. So let's wake up and let's start standing side by side and embrace the diversity that God implemented.
It's always a pleasure to be with you. Now there's only one thing left. We've got a tough decision, you and me, tonight, and that is whether we have ribeye or T-bone. So back to you guys.
Well, thank you to Mo Brings Plenty, and thanks to Folds of Honor for bringing us into the fold on the amazing community here at Cheyenne Frontier Days. It's the finals day, and of course we got to talk about one of the most iconic events that happens here at Cheyenne, the steer roping. And Ty, there is a lot of history here. This is maybe the most true cowboy event at Cheyenne this year.
For sure, and for all of our Cowboy Channel watchers, they don't get the opportunity to watch steer roping very often, so you better tune in to the Cheyenne today to watch the Daddy of them all short round for the steer roping. That's the cowboy event. If you're out there on the ranch and you're by yourself, you don't have anybody with you, you need to doctor your steer, brand, whatever it is, you're going to rope him, you're going to lay him down and trip him, and that's how you take care of your animals. And so that's what the real ranchers do out there on when they're working their place.
Yeah, let's talk about our reigning champion, though, Tuff Hardman. He is back for a chance at another championship here. LB, you and I were talking about this as we take a look at this run for fans who don't get to see steer roping very often. This is the cowboy event. This really did all start at the ranch, and you see some amazing athletes in it.
Well, to break it down, you know, obviously if you got a sick calf, just like how the tie-down roping started, you can go out there and rope him by yourself, flank him, tie him down. Whenever you got a sick mama cow out there, it's a whole different deal. You got to go out there, tie it on hard and fast, usually by yourself. You got to lay that steer down, make sure that he's down, and go tie him so you can get him doctored so you can prevent, you know, diseases in your herd. So it really is the true cowboy event.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tuff Hardman is the ultimate name for a steer tripper here.
It really is.
What a good name. You got to be tough for it. But speaking of maybe one of the most iconic names in the sport of steer roping, Patterson. And this guy, he's kind of the one that started it all. Rocky Patterson, he is here in the finals.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard of his son, Cole Patterson, who is arguably the greatest in the sport right now and today, but Rocky's no slouch either. 28 NFR steer roping qualifications, and you can't count him out today at the Daddy of 'em all.
Yeah, and Jordan Jo, this arena, for people who haven't gotten to be here at Cheyenne and really see the setup, it is the ultimate setup for steer tripping.
It is the ultimate setup. If you've gone past the camera pit and you're steer tripping, you be rolling. But it's the ultimate setup. And you know, one of the things about Cheyenne is we were seeing all those guys in the past that had won several accolades. They've been steer roping since the beginning of the Cheyenne Frontier Days. And so the fact that this rodeo showcases that on Short Round Sunday and lets everybody see it and brings it back, the tradition runs deep here, I think that's the neatest thing.
Well, and that kind of transitions us to tie-down roping, also a true cowboy event here at Cheyenne. It's time for your Higher Boots comeback story, and this really is the ultimate comeback story. World champion Tyson Durfee, he is back in rodeo.
He's back. I mean, he showed that yesterday with a 9-4 in the semifinals. I don't think anybody doubted him, but if you did have any doubts, then he put those to rest. 2020 was his last NFR. He struggled with a lot of horse problems and horse deaths, and his heart just wasn't in it. He's a family man and he's a godly man, and he had other things that he focused his life on. But he's back with a vengeance, and here he is. Hopefully, he can get a championship today.
LB, oh, sorry, go ahead,
No,
Jordan
I was
Jo.
just going to say, Ty, talk about how hard it is. Like, once you quote unquote retire and get out of roping at this competitive elite level, how hard it is to actually get back and compete with you guys.
I know what it's like when I don't practice for 2 weeks. I struggle. So that dude didn't rope for over 2 years, and he's over 40 years old. It's amazing to see him come back at this caliber and this level. It shows how determined and disciplined he is in his practice, his preparation, and hopefully it can pay off for him today.
What I love the most about Tyson's style is he really can use his long rope, and he rides a great horse. So this is kind of his ideal setup, no different than you saw him win the semifinal round yesterday. He comes in today, it's any man's game, but if Tyson Durfee has the calf that he needs, I plan on seeing him wearing the buckle.
Well, there's a reason why Tyson Durfee is back, and he is on top of his game in competition. Our very own Katie Lucas got to catch up with him the other day.
Always love getting the chance to catch up with this world champion. And Tyson, in an event with so many variables, what was the one standout variable today that allowed you to be 3/10 off the arena record?
Yeah, it's got to be my horse, Baby Ray. I got her from Riley O'Rourke a few months ago. Didn't really have time to get with her before I started rodeoing, but she fits this setup. She's amazing.
And it was a special horse that allowed us to see the return of Tyson Durfee to rodeo. On days like today, when you're making runs like you just made, how good does it feel to be back?
You know, I got to give all the glory to Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. I thought I was going to die in a hospital bed. Now I'm back rodeoing again, so that's why we're doing it. I want to show people what strength looks like in the Lord.
Hey, I love that. Such an inspiration, and so good to have this champion back.
Yeah, that's a perfect word to describe Tyson Durfee. He is all inspiration. What a great ambassador for our sport, and we're so excited to see him roping the tie-down roping coming up today. But I know fans at home are also excited to see the world champion Shad Mayfield try to come back for a repeat. You know, Shad, he's dealing with a lot of injuries. He's dealing with a lot of things. It has not shown at all. He's just fresh off his win at the Calgary Stampede. This is it right here. How tuned in is Shad Mayfield for Cheyenne?
Oh, I mean, I think Shad Mayfield's always tuned in. Him and Riley Webb have been going back and forth in the world standings for the last 3 years. Shad just took over the lead after the Calgary win. He won Cheyenne last year. He's put on a kind of a master class throughout this whole Cheyenne rodeo of calf roping, and I don't see him to slow down anytime. Like they've talked about, like we've said, you have to draw a good calf today to win first, but I see him to go make a good run. I don't think Shad's going to go beat himself today.
Right. Well, and even in the semifinals, we saw him right here in this run. He drew a really tough calf, and he ran all the way down there and got that sucker and tied him. And you wouldn't think being by the camera pit that you could be that fast, but Shad Mayfield can.
LB, I know you're a big tie-down roping fan. You're a pretty good tie-down roper yourself. Here in this setup, you think it's going to be Shad's game, or who do you have your eye on?
You know, it's hard to say. Obviously, Shad's been on fire. I mean, how many times have we talked about him coming back-to-back for all these titles that he won last year? He's obviously hungry. He's trying to outmatch Riley Webb, which is very tough to do. It's definitely a goal of mine to be able to run one in this arena. It's so prestigious, long score, tough cattle, and it's really just any man's game, but you gotta have the horsepower, and I believe that Shad does.
Yeah, it's so fun to see these guys go back-to-back, and Ty, you're a big part of that. I know that you have your eye on a tie-down roper. You want to talk about Cole Clemens.
Yeah, I want to talk about Cole Clemens. He's coming off his first national finals qualification last year. Didn't have the NFR he wanted, but he's in a good rig. He's got Dylan Hancock in his rig. I mean, these boys are confident, and they just love rodeo, and they love being out here. They're enjoying the process. He needs to make a move, though. I mean, he's 40,000 back out of the top 15. This will be a huge propelled up their standings. He has a long way to go, but I know he's confident. I know he's prepared, and I'd like to see him do some good today.
Well, and fresh off of his rookie season, you kind of got that first year over and done with. You know that you can play with the big dogs. Do you remember what you guys were like in your rookie season coming off of it?
Oh, Lord. Let's not talk about that. Well, one of the things, too, about Cole is he's hungry. You know, and you can see that as he ropes. He's hungry, he's gritty, and he's a little guy. And so today, these calves are pretty sharp and pretty stout, and Dylan Mundorf and them have done a good job. So, you know, it's going to be all there. But like LB said, it's anybody's game today. But I've got my eye on Riley Pruitt. He's kind of come in there as a sleeper and just calm, cool, collected, gone and done his job, and he's walked away with a lot of money this week so far.
Well, you got to give a shout out to that little cowboy right there on the screen. That is the beautiful Cody Berry and the even more handsome Ledger Berry giving us a smile. LB, give a shout out to your baby boy.
Oh man, it's so great to have my family here. I get to twin with my little boy Ledger James, and just to have them up here with me, even though I'm not competing, it's the most special feeling in the world. So.
He's already rocking that belt buckle and the denim on denim. We love that. You know, rodeo here, especially at Cheyenne, it is all about family. They have so many cool family dynamics. We talked about that in the steer roping, tie-down roping. We see it all over the place. We see it all year long with you and your brother Joel. When we come back, we're going to break down some breakaway roping and some barrel racing. Guess who we're going to talk about? I don't know. Maybe the first ever winner at Cheyenne in the breakaway roping when we come back.
Rodeo Live is brought to you by Hire, history, heritage, and a hell of a comeback. And Folds of Honor. Honor, educate, unite.
You're taking a look at the beautiful grandstands here at Cheyenne Frontier Days. We are live on Rodeo Live on the Cowboy Channel, just feet away from that iconic arena. The fans are rolling in. They are ready to watch the best of the best compete for their chance at a championship at one of the most coveted rodeos of the summer here at Cheyenne Frontier Days. And we got to talk barrel racing. This is one of my most favorite events, of course. Our RM43 in the weeds brings you Carly Otero. Now, I feel really fresh on this one right here because she just won the championship at Salt Lake City last night on Regina George, this beautiful Palomino. She had broken the arena record a few days before, clocked a 16.84 on a standard pattern. Carly Otero, one of the most resilient barrel racers going down the road. She has ridden so many different horses. In fact, we're going to see her on a new horse here in Cheyenne. She just got this horse a couple of weeks ago. They won the short round at Salinas. She's running Twix today at Cheyenne. Is Carly Otero going to clean slate the weekend? It's going to be fun to see, Jordan.
She is, and you know what? She's a jockey. This girl can literally bought Twix sight unseen. Just went off of the guy that he said, hey, this is a great horse. And she's like, all right, send him my way. She is such a jockey. She knows how to ride each and every one of these horses and get the most out of them. She's a veteran at the game, and she's just a winner. She just loves it. You know, she was telling me Twix runs with 3 shoes because she had a little bit of an abscess, so she took the shoe off. She's got 3 shoes. And she's hauling butt. So I'm excited to see her here at Cheyenne today, and, you know, coming fresh off that win last night, she's got some momentum built up, and I'm excited to see her win.
Yeah, that's why she is your RM43 in the weeds, and she has had just the most amazing career. We've seen her win on horses like Rare Dillon that went on to win the Rodeo World Championship, Twix, Regina George. She made the NFR on Sly last year. Sly came up hurt. She didn't have a horse for the summer. Now she's in the top 10 in the PRCA World Standings. 4 times the NFR, always on different horses. 11th ranked just the other day, but look at the amount of money that she has made in this month alone, from Cody, Calgary, Killdeer, Salinas, Ogden, Cheyenne, Salt Lake City last night, over almost $20,000. She is feeling pretty unstoppable today in the barrel race, but we have some serious titans out. We're looking at Emily Beisel, Haley Kinsel. It's going to be a serious horse race.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're Haley Kinsel and sister, you know you're going to probably have to go fast, but Carly's no slouch. She rode last year at the NFR with a broke pelvis. I mean, you talk about a 100 and something pound little woman with a broke pelvis riding this a 1,200-pound rocket ship. So that kind of gave me even a more of a newfound respect for her and what she does and the toughness that she has.
Yeah, you definitely have to have respect for how tough she is and how she steps up to the plate every time. Jordan said it. She's just a true winner. Now, I want to look at Emily Beisel. She's a fan favorite. She has been absolutely incredible here at Cheyenne Frontier Days. We see her on all kinds of different horses. This year at Cheyenne, she decided to bust out the Vanilla Gorilla. I love this horse, and she made a great post saying that all the girls that are training a horse in the dark that nobody sees, this horse has not been to very many big rodeos. Emily trained him herself, and they are just flying to the top. How fun was this to see?
Well, Janie, talk to me a little bit from your perspective as a barrel racer. When you're swinging a leg over these high-powered horses, different sizes, different styles, what do you have to think about as you're going to these rodeos? They're obviously all different setups. How do you kind of make that change and know that that's what's going to work?
I would say that Emily Beisel is maybe one of the best veterans to answer that question because she does it time and time again. We see her on Chongo. We see her on Chewy. She just won Deadwood last night on Chewy. Now she's here on Vanilla Gorilla. And I really think that one of the main factors that Emily Beisel takes into play when she's deciding on a horse is the setup. If it's going to be big open, Vanilla Gorilla is a super rady horse. This is a big open pin. These barrels are not up against the fence. And then her second thing she takes into play is, has this horse driven overnight in a trailer? How many runs has this horse made? I want to keep these horses mentally sharp, and that's how Emily Beisel makes her decisions. Haley Kinsel, she does the exact same thing. There is a reason why Sister has had the longest career we have seen in a long time in barrel horses. This mare is 14 years old. Jordan, I think you described it. Haley Kinsel calls Sister her 14-year-old colt because this mare, despite a long career, is still full of so much fire.
She is fiery. I was talking to Haley in the parking lot after her semifinals, and she was at the bottom of the ground. She just barely got into the finals today, 6th, and she was like, it's a little deep out there. Sis and I made away. She has a game plan for today, but the planes were flying over and Sister was jumping up and down like a 4-year-old. So, I mean, that's so cool, but this horse literally loves her job. One of the coolest things, and we've seen her do it, she rides Sister up and shows her the arena everywhere she goes, right through to the back gate, and Sis is just a competitor within herself, and she loves to be here, so she's going to show up and show out today.
Yeah, Haley Kinsel said it herself. Whenever Sister's going up the alleyway and we see that iconic head shake, it's on. She's going for the win. Don't hold that horse back. We have an awesome group of competitors in the barrel race. I want to give a shout out to Sue Smith, who still holds the arena record on dashes centerfold with a 16:89. That is a smoking fast time here at Cheyenne. Maybe Sue can come back and get that done. Again, Summer Coastal, she was a 17:0. It's going to be such an amazing field, but it's really just going to come down to the fastest horse. We need someone who's efficient. Ty, you got an enthusiastic looking face. Who are you looking at in the barrel race?
We talked about all that cool stuff and all those amazing athletes, and we didn't even mention Brittany Tanazi and Lisa Lockhart, two of the staples of the last 25 years of barrel racing, of this sport. Really, honestly, two of the greatest ever. So,
well, and Lisa's got a title here.
Yeah,
exactly. And so it shows you how deep the finals is today. I'll be watching the barrel racing.
It's going to be a little mini NFR. Like you said, Lisa Lockhart, 18 times to the NFR. Brittany Posey Tanazi, 17 times to the NFR. She's number 2 in the world standings on yet another horse. An amazing group of competitors coming up in the barrel race. But we also have some amazing competitors coming up in the breakaway roping, and maybe one of the best ever just happens to be sitting right here at our desk here on Rodeo Live. Jordan Jo Hollabaugh, you are back here in the finals. Tell us how you got here. What's the journey been like?
So it's a long journey here at Cheyenne. You rope against 200 girls. We are broke into 2 sets. The first set of 100, the second set of 100. They bring 30 back. Then you come back to the semifinals and you advance. They take 4 from each semifinals to the quarterfinals. Backwards. Quarterfinals to semifinals. A little confusing. Yeah. And they take 6 out of the semifinals. So it's definitely a journey here. You just got to rope 1 calf at a time. Hope you draw a good one and hope it all works out.
You're the first champion, but now you could be the first 2-time champion. We are taking a look at your run from 2019. What an iconic moment. Take us back to it.
That run still makes me cry. I remember looking up at that scoreboard and thinking, oh my gosh, I'm the fastest time. But Kelsey Domer was right behind me there, and she happened to break the barrier, which doesn't happen often, and she was faster than me. Broke the barrier, and they're like, you won it. And I said, wait, what? I did? So just an emotional win. One of the inaugurals. Cheyenne is just a staple for whatever they do. It seems like everything else follows. They gave the breakaway this platform, and it made it a huge advantage for women to compete here. And it's just a great rodeo.
Ty, you can attest to this from the tight end roping side to the breakaway roping side of things. What makes this setup challenging and unique?
Yeah, for sure. So much horsemanship. I mean, especially in the breakaway, it's nod, go, throw within no more than 3 swings 99% of the time you guys go to rodeo. So you have to have so much more horsemanship here than, in my opinion, than what you do at all the other rodeos. And I think that really plays in your favor, especially with who your husband is.
Yeah, Raymond, he's always, he's won the buckle here before, and he was, he's like, you got to do certain things at the daddy, you got to be able to ride, you got to be able to rope, and so it's huge. And then too, we ask our horses every day to, like you said, we nod, go, and throw it, and so to be able to get them out of that and get them to run to these cattle running down the pin, it's a big thing.
So I seen you were 4.43 in 2019 for the championship, sitting right here at this desk. Would you take a 4.43, or you think you're going to have to be faster today?
I would take a 4.43. These calves that we're roping, they've been roped 4 times here already, so they're dang sure moving out through there. It's going to be, I think, who nails the barrier and takes their first throw today, because there's a lot of right and a lot of left, which but these calves are going to be moving today, so I would dang sure take a 4.4.
Oh boy, we'll take a 4.4 as well. Jordan Jo, I know that you got to go get ready to compete. Thank you so much for being on our show, Rodeo Live, especially with everything that you have going on. On behalf of all of us, we wish you the best of luck. Go get that win. Be the first ever to win 2 back-to-back.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Cheering for Jordan Jo in the breakaway rope, and we have a lot more action. We have rough stock to break down here at the Cheyenne Frontier Days. Rodeo Live.
Rodeo Live is brought to you by Tractor Supply. For life out here.
There goes Jordan Jo Hollabaugh off to chase after her second title here at Cheyenne Frontier Days here on Rodeo Live. We wish her all the luck. You better get to running, Jordan. We got some fast calves. It's going to be so much fun to watch in the breakaway roping. But speaking of competition, our very own Katie Lucas had a chance to catch up with Rodeo's bad boy, Rocker Steiner, is Hell on Wheels.
Catching up with Rocker Steiner along the Hell on Wheels tour this summer. Been about a week so far on the bus, but the last few days you've been parked here in Cheyenne. It's been pretty fun on the beaches of Cheyenne, hasn't it?
It's been great. I've been drawing good and riding good, and then we have the bus just parked in front of everybody, so it's kind of like an autograph magnet, so I like it.
What kind of response have you had with the bus? Obviously, it's big, it's beautiful, and it's loud, just like you.
Well, nobody's told me that they hate it so far, so there's been a lot of people come up to it, and everybody's really curious. Even if they don't know who I am, they're pretty curious. So I always look out the window. There's people standing around, and it's a good time.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to watch you so far. About a week on the trail with this big, beautiful thing behind us here. Anything exciting happened so far that, maybe a little preview for episode number 1?
Nothing too crazy has happened on the bus yet, but I think with Cheyenne and Salt Lake and doing that run yesterday, I think that's going to be pretty cool for film. So I can't give away too much. You just have to watch.
All right, okay. We will hold on until the fall, until episode 1 comes out. But a lot of things happening on the rodeo trail right now. You truly are on a roll, probably the best roll of your summer season so far. What do you attribute it to right now, Rocker?
Last year I just I think I busted it as hard as I could, and I came up short by $14,000. So that's never going to happen again.
I love that. So you're going to push really hard all through the rest of the summer then?
That's right. I went to 65 rodeos last year, and I think I'm at like 35 rodeos right now. So we're probably going to go to about 70 or 80.
Wow, it's going to be an exciting summer. I have to think maybe you have a little bit of an advantage. You got a good spot to stretch out on, nice AC while you're rolling down the road?
I do. I got a nice floor to lay on.
And lots of friends along the way too.
A lot of friends. I got my boys with me, so I'm good.
All right, we're excited. Where does this tour head next? Where, if people are rolling down the rodeo trail, where are they going to see this bus?
I think Dodge City.
All right. So we're not going to get out of Dodge too fast?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Deal. All right, Rocker Steiner, he's up in the short round today. Bus is parked here, but it's about to roll on to the next one.
Well, Rocker Steiner, he's our star. He's our rock star, in fact. You definitely want to tune into Hell on Wheels. It's going to be premiering this fall on the Cowboys Channel. I have a feeling you're going to hear some pretty amazing stories from the Hell on Wheels road trip. Welcome back to Rodeo Live, presented by Tractor Supply. Katie Lucas, it's like TV magic. You were at the Hell on Wheels bus. Now you're at our desk. Welcome. Are you ready for the short go today?
Hey, I am so ready. I'm so excited. I'm not going to replace Jordan Jo. I'm just standing in for her right now, so I'll do my best to fill her shoes.
I'm sure she will appreciate that. She's got to go get ready, got to go get focused in. But it's time to break down the rough stock. And of course, we have our token rough stock rider here, 4-time NFR qualifier, Leighton Berry, the bareback riding. I know you took a look at this list. You thought about it. How fired up are you for the contestants today?
Oh man, Janie, I've got sweaty palms just thinking about it. The only thing I'd rather be doing is back there taping my arm, getting ready. This is going to be more like a TV pin style of bareback horses. I think you're going to see multiple 90-point rides today. I've got my eyes on a few of these matchups. Really, looking down on the paper, I could not tell you who's going to win first, second, or third. It's going to be a free-for-all. I think this is going to be the closest thing to a spur ride contest as we've had in several years.
Well, I know you want to talk about Cade Saunier. He has some great history here at this very arena.
Yeah, I want to talk about a couple of Cades today, but first, Cade Saunier, he has a rematch on MLW's Irish Eyes. This is a Sankey Phenom Genetics bucking horse. Cade won, split 3 ways, the title in Cheyenne in 2023 on that horse. He's been on him several times. This horse really just does the same thing. He's going to go out there, hit twice, come around to the right, and Cade does really, really well with horses going into his hand.
Well, and we saw Cade Saunier. He didn't have his best year last year, but in 2025, how much more tuned in and ready to go does he seem this year?
Yeah, he battled a few small injuries and overall just didn't draw the way he wanted to. Ended up being just shy of the top 15. This year, he's inside the top 10. Obviously, you watch him right there on the gray horse SOS, almost 90 points there. He's hungry. I've been talking to him. He's healthy finally. Everything's feeling good. Everything's going his way. And he's got a horse that he's really, really good buddies with. So.
Well, and speaking of Cades, a Cade that you know very well, your little brother, he is one of the best guys I know. Talk about Mr. Cade Berry.
Well, if anybody knows how brutally honest I am, it's my little brother Cade. So I would not be speaking about him if I didn't think that he had a chance today on this little Sarl Brookman horse called Lunatic Heaven. We just took this horse in the NFR last year. There were a bunch of points on him. Jess Pope won Sioux Falls actually last year on that horse. So multiple 90-point rides. I think this horse on paper is going to be probably the highest marked horse of all year. I think they're usually marking this horse around 22 points, stays real close to the buck and shoot. By the time Cade hits the bottom of his knot, he's going to be 3 jumps in, so he's going to have his hands full today.
Ty, I love that you're here because you can attest to this. We talk about Leighton Berry cheering on his little brother. What is it like cheering on your little brother? Is it exciting? Is it nervous? What is all that like?
I mean, I don't know about Leighton, but I feel like we're pretty similar. I would be really, really nervous before braiding ropes right here. If my brother was roping in the short round at Cheyenne today, I'd be more nervous than I am for even when I rope.
Yeah, it's going to be so much fun to watch. We love that family dynamic. I know you have a lot more bareback riders to talk about, but the star of the show right now coming into today, Wasey Shala, he just went 90 points last night at Salt Lake City to win. In his interview, he had a big time moment where he gave us some insight into why he wants to be back at the NFR.
You know, Wasey really proved himself last night. He's been on fire in the bull riding, and he's been drawing a lot of nice horses in the bareback riding, making great spur rides. When I saw his name next to Night Faded last night, I knew he was going to have his hands full. This is a horse we take to the Eliminator pin in the NFR. Just Pope won round 8 on him last year, and like I said, with Wasey having his hands full on a bucker like that and going out and being 90 points and getting the win, and he's coming over here, he's got a great horse at Sankey Pro Rodeo. That guy's on fire.
Well, he's going to the NFR in the bull riding. He's going back and forth between that number 1 and number 2 spot, but he wants there in the bareback riding. He wants to be all in on this all-around race. Here's his interview from last night in Salt Lake City. Wasey Shala, you're number 1 in the world in the bull riding, but you just showed the world that you're a gold medal quality bareback rider as well. What does this mean to you at this point in the year?
Oh, that horse, he's big stud of Pete Cars, and I knew today was the day I was going to find out whether I was a bareback rider or not, and I was just happy to be able to do what I was able to do and come out on top.
Well, a gold medal bareback rider on top of that. Like you said, that stud, he was so big and strong. How big of an opportunity was that for you to really show your stuff?
Yeah, no, like I said, I've never been on a horse that big or have that much power. So just to be able to prove to myself that I'm a dominant competitor, and hopefully we'll see myself in Vegas this year.
I think you've proven it to the world. Congratulations, Wasey.
Thank you.
You know, it was so much fun to watch that interview with you, Janie, and Wasey truly is on a roll right now. You got to speak to him after a 90-point ride. The day before, I was visiting with him here at the Cheyenne Frontier Days when he made his first 90-point bareback ride of his career. So he wasted no time, about 24 hours or just over before he got a second.
Yeah, isn't that so cool? He's just having such a week, and he is such a talented bareback rider. I think it's going to be so much fun to watch this dynamic between Wasey Shala and Stetson Wright in this all-around race, because we have not seen this kind of situation play out in so long. I can't even tell you the last time. There's going to be some competition. Wasey Shala, he's coming for Stetson.
Yeah, it was so exciting to watch. Last year at the National Finals Rodeo, we got to see a timed event competition for the all-around race, but Wasey and Stetson said, no, timed event competitors, we're taking it back.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to see an all-year race. You know what I'm saying? It came down to the NFR. You didn't know who was going to become eligible. There were a lot of guys trying to get the 3,001 because Stetson was out. But it's really cool to see. Even though it's on the rough stock side of things, it's cool to see 2 guys battling it out all year long for the all-around world championship.
So fun, and it really all kicks off in a big way tonight in the bareback riding for Wasey Shala. But we got to transition to bull riding. Speaking of Wasey Shala, he's not in the bull riding here. We have a young group of competitors that made it back to the bull riding. It's going to be an interesting group.
Yeah, about a third of the field or more are either on their permit or rookie competitors. It's really exciting to see the Aussie Quinn Anderson. He's number 1 in that rookie race. And Janie, I interviewed him about 6 weeks ago. He didn't even know where he was at in the standings. He didn't even know he was doing so well in the rookie race. Now he's rocketed himself to number 1. But Mason Spain also in the mix, Andy Guzman. And then on the permit side of things, Hayden Welsh, you're number 1 in the permit race. Gavin Mitchell, number 5. It's really interesting to see the combination. Historic rodeo, young kids in the bull riding.
It seems like year after year we have this amazing elite group of rookies show up in the bull riding. A guy who is not a rookie and is also feeling on fire right now, Utah's Hayes Wade, just broke the arena record at the Utah Days of 47 Rodeo last night with a 93-point ride. You really can't have any more momentum than that coming into Cheyenne.
Absolutely. You know, coming from there, he's got a pile of money in his pocket. The bull he's got today is a little bit ranker than the rest. That's no problem for Hayes Wade. He's kind of been there, done that, looking to head to another NFR. I think he's going to make a ride today.
Yeah, 93 just last night. That's really going to make you feeling good, and you kind of want that bucker whenever you get in there. What's it going to take draw-wise in order to win the bull riding today?
You know, looking down the list and talking to some of the guys, obviously there's some rider-friendly bulls in there, but if I'm in the short round, I think I want the rankest one in there because these guys are all going to show up. I think they're going to ride multiple bulls today, so you're going to want that 23-point bull be 90-plus points to get the Cheyenne title.
A guy in the bull riding, this guy right here, our 2020 NFR average champion, Colton Fritzland. He was big time in pro rodeo. He went to PBR for a couple years. He's actually really close to the top 25 in the world standings. He's got a chance here in Cheyenne.
I got to talk to Colton a little bit last night, and I asked him, you know, what's your plan? Are you just hanging out in Cheyenne and then going back to the PBR teams? And he said, no, sir, I've got a gold buckle on my mind in pro rodeo, so we're going to see him hot on the trail all year. The bull he's got should be around to the right. Colton's been staying on everything here lately, so I'm looking forward to watching him.
I love that. You heard it right here. That's kind of breaking news that Colton Fritzland, he's going to be back on the scene in the PRCA. As you take a look at that list, I know there's a lot of young guys here, but what do you think of it?
I mean, there's a lot of young guys, but a lot of dudes that have been winning. Hayes Weight gets the record over the Cowboy Christmas. I mean, they are riding bulls. Like Leighton said, I expect to see 5-6 bulls rode today, and hopefully 90 plus for the win.
I love it. And I'm looking at Ernie Corson. He's been in a bit of a slump, and it has turned around so quickly for him at Cheyenne Frontier Days. We are getting closer and closer to the finals here at Cheyenne. You're here on Rodeo Live. We're going to be back with more as we get closer to crowning some champions.
Out the gate, y'all better hang on. Just gold buckles and stake. Hit your feet, hit the lights, saddle up, 'cause it's finally time for Rodeo
Well, a lot of what makes Cheyenne Frontier Days so iconic is that legendary bull rider that you just saw, Lane Frost, a true cowboy that we will never forget. As we get ready to kick off our Shortco, our finals, this is the big moment for these contestants. Welcome back to Rodeo Live, presented by Tractor Supply. And I know we've been talking about our Pro Fantasy Rodeo picks for that summer run. We don't have time to go through every single event because we could go on and on about the star power that's here. But as you take a look at your list, does anybody stand out to you? Real quick, we want everyone to take out their phone and scan their QR code. If you want to join the fun and be a part of our show here, pick your favorite contestants, try to win money. There's a lot of money to be won. You got a pretty good team, Ty?
Oh, I mean, yeah, you can pretty much just put the $10,000 right in my pocket.
I like that confidence. Katie, what about your team?
I've had the advantage of getting to be arena side for the semifinals here, so I feel like I know who's doing really well. Tyler Wade, Wesley Thorpe, they're always a standout for me, but they're last out today in the team roping, so they're also smart rodeo competitors. If it's a little tough in the team roping before them, they're going to turn it up. If they need to make a businessman's run, that's exactly what they're going to do.
I love that. That's a good pick. You really went out on a limb going
I know. Real
world
deep cut
champions there. LB, we got to talk bareback riding. Who are you looking at? I have a feeling I know, but go ahead, share it with us.
Yeah, I'm kind of going with all the underdogs in almost every event here. Got to go with my brother on Lunatic Heaven. I think that's going to be an awesome matchup. He's healthy, he's riding good. He's been on the low end of the drawing streak, but today he's got the one to have, and I'm going to be back there to cheer him on.
I love that. Cheering for Cade Berry for sure. Tie down. It's so exciting here at Cheyenne. Who are you looking at?
I'm really going to have to go out on a limb as well and say Shad Mayfield. It's hard to bet against him, and I'm not going to. Win it last year here, coming off a win at Calgary. Horse looks amazing. He's roped perfect throughout this whole deal, like I said earlier. I'm going to have to go with Shad Mayfield.
I think that anybody who bets against Shad Mayfield really regrets that decision pretty quickly because he does turn up every single time. In the breakaway roping, I'm going to go for 2 picks, okay? Of course, I got to go with Jordan Jo Hollabaugh. She is our queen here at Rodeo Live. We love her. She's the champion here at Cheyenne Frontier Days, the first ever. And another one I want to give a shout out to, Sequin Brewer, one of my hometown cowgirls. Got to represent Amarillo, Texas. She's made it all the way to the finals. I'm cheering for her. Saddle bronc riding, though, I have a feeling our group might be unanimous on this decision, but Leighton, go ahead and pick one.
Yeah, if all else fails, I think Brody Wells, he's got an awesome Brookman horse. If this thing goes out there and kicks like I know it can, it's going to stall out in one spot. Brody's riding so aggressively right now. If there's anybody that's going to test Brody Cress, it's Brody Wells.
Battle of the Brodies.
That's
I like
right.
that in the saddle bronc riding, but that is a very good pick. Do you guys have anybody in the saddle bronc riding that you want to add?
I don't think it's an ad. I think it's just a confirmation. Brody Cress, the black tie. I think not only could he win this, but he could also break the record at 92.5.
Well, and Katie, you mentioned your pick in the team roping. You talked about your pick earlier with Aaron Sinigini, Jeremy Bueller. How do you think they're going to handle the setup today?
Oh, I'm sticking with him. Aaron's always riding a fast horse. He's going to set Jeremy up. I think Jeremy's going to rope him quick. Obviously, a big part of it's the draw here, but if they get a steer that's going to play with them, I think they're going to win first.
Well, and in the steer wrestling, I'm going to go with Rowdy Parrott. We talked about him earlier. He has all the confidence in the world. I talked to him earlier before the show. He's all smiles. That guy does not get fazed by pressure. You guys looking at anybody in the steer wrestling?
Yeah, I think I got to stick with Paul Melvin. He really hasn't had the chance to win on stage like this in a little while, and I know this horse he's riding has the power to go get this steer run down. So like Ty said, it's all going to come down to these steers and what they have, but I'm going with the Texas boy, Paul Melvin.
Okay, and I'm going to end things in the barrel race with a big limb here. Haley Kinzel is my pick, your 2021 champion here at Cheyenne Frontier Days. Her and sister are back in full form. I'm also going to bet on a rookie getting the win here in the bull riding. It is anybody's game. This is one of the biggest rodeos of the entire summer. People will make the NFR based off the money that they win here at Cheyenne Frontier Days. Our crowd is rolling in. We'll see you at the next Rodeo Live presented by Tractor Supply at the Caldwell Night Rodeo. But for now, the Cheyenne Frontier Days Finals starts now.